What is up, guys? So today we're going to be doing another video on the best teams for every single character in Wuthering Waves. Now in this video I won't be going like super in depth into their team. That would be way too long of a video. So I'm just going to be basically showing you guys their strongest teams. If you guys want me to go like a little bit more in depth into like the teams and their rotations and stuff like that, let me know in the comments which one you'd like to see me do, and then I'll make that in another video for you guys. So just a disclaimer for this video, Verena is an absolutely broken character. She's in every single team as a support. If you do not have Arena, you can use Baiji as a sub, as the other support. Unfortunately, Baiji is a lot weaker than Verena, but she's going to be your next best option. So for these characters don't really fit into any real specific teams. They're like a lot more niche. So for Spectre Rover, since the game gives you enough constellations or sequences to get Spectre Rover to sequence 4, we're going to be counting that into this video as well. So at C4, Spectre Rover does heal when she ults. So what you can do is you can use her in any team really as like a sub DPS. You just get on field, you use her ultimate, do a little bit of damage, and then you get off field with her. Her ult will heal you, and her outro skill will leave a little stasis field that will like help you crowd control enemies. And similar to Spectre Rover, Yang doesn't really have a team that she really fits into either. Yang I'd say is more for the Tower of Adversity because she's like the best grouper we have right now. So I think that's where she would shine the most, but into boss fights, she doesn't really give any damage bonuses. So I don't think Yang would be very good into any of those. So this is going to be the first main DPS we're going to be talking about in this video, and it's going to be Jiyan. So how Jiyan works for DPS is his Resonance Liberation is where he's going to be doing almost all of his damage. And in his Resonance Liberation, his damage, all of his attacks count as heavy attack damage. So Mortefi gives a 38% heavy attack damage bonus, and Mortefi also does off-field damage. So this would be Jiyan's strongest sub DPS, and this would also be Mortefi's strongest team. So I won't be mentioning Mortefi again in this video. So the second main DPS we're going to be talking about on this video is going to be Calcharo. So Calcharo relies on his Resonance Liberation to do damage, and he's also an Electro character, which would make Yinlin his best sub DPS because Yinlin buffs Electro damage by 20% and Resonance Liberation damage by 25% with her outro. Another really good thing about Yinlin is that Yinlin does damage off field. So this would also be Yinlin's strongest team as well because Calcharo is very strong and they work really well together. So the third main DPS on this video that we're going to be talking about is going to be Encore. So Encore relies on her basic attack to do almost most of her damage, and Sanhua buffs basic attack by 38%. So this would be Encore's strongest sub DPS, and this would also be Sanhua's strongest team. So the next main DPS we're going to be talking about in this video is going to be Jianxin. So with Jianxin, her forte converts all her damage into heavy attack, and it does a lot of damage and it ticks really fast. And since it works like that, it's going to work really well with Mortefi because Mortefi's ultimate likes when you hit a lot. The quicker you hit, the better it is for you because he's going to throw a lot more bullets out that way. And Mortefi also gives her a 38% heavy attack increase, which is very good for her. They work really well together. So the next team we're going to be talking about is Jianxin. She's one of these multi-role characters. She's going to be a sub DPS in this team. So in this team, she relies on her getting her outro skill up. And by getting her outro skill up, what she will do is she will give Calcharo a 38% liberation damage bonus. And obviously Calcharo does most of his damage through his liberation. So this will be the best sub DPS team for Jianxin. So next main DPS we're going to be talking about is going to be Linyang. So a majority of Linyang's damage comes from his basic attack. And as we mentioned earlier in the video, Sanhua buffs basic attack by 38%. The only thing is for Sanhua, the reason why Sanhua was stronger in the other team is because Encore is just a stronger DPS. So this would not be Sanhua's strongest team. And now we're on Chixia. The next DPS we're going to be talking about is my girl Chixia. So with Chixia, most of her damage is going to be coming from skill damage bonus and Resonance Liberation damage. Now, you would think that Taoqi would be her best support, right? Because she gives a skill damage bonus, but because of how clunky Taoqi's playstyle is and how long she takes to get up that gauge to give her that outro skill damage, she actually isn't as good as you think. I've been finding a lot more success with Yinlin because Yinlin, not only does she do damage off field, her rotation is way quicker, she does way more damage than Taoqi, and she also gave a 25% deepen to Chixia's liberation damage, so which would make her honestly way better than Taoqi for this team. Speaking of Taoqi, this is going to be her strongest team. I know we just talked about how she wasn't the best for Chixia, which she isn't, but this is just her strongest team. Your objective with this is you're just going to want to get to her outro as quick as possible and then toss all that outro skill damage bonus to Chixia. Now remember, this does not make her Chixia's strongest team. It won't be Chixia's strongest team. This is just the strongest team Taoqi can be in. Now we're on Havoc Rover as a main DPS. In this team, you're going to be playing around Danjin, giving Havoc Rover a 23% Havoc damage bonus. So you just want to get on Danjin, get up her outro, use Dreamless, and then go to Havoc Rover. And then on Havoc Rover, you can do your DPS rotation. And this is going to be Danjin's main DPS team. So in this team, honestly, it's very similar to the next team. It's just that you're going to be doing a lot more on-field with Danjin because she does a lot of damage. And in this team, it's honestly, it feels more like two main DPSs fighting for damage. But the good thing is Havoc Rover has a very short on-field time if you're just using her as burst. You just get on her. You're going to just do her ultimate to give the Dreamless Echo a 50% damage increase. The Dreamless Echo will do that, and then you're just going to go to Danjin. Havoc Rover's intro is going to do a lot of fire damage on the ground, or Havoc damage on the ground, and then you're just going to do your normal rotation and everything on Danjin. And now we're at my boy Yuanwu. So similar to Calcharo, Yuanwu is an Electro main DPS character, so obviously an Electro main DPS. He's going to be running with Yinlin. Yinlin gives him that 20% Electro. Yinlin does good off field and then gives a 25% liberation damage deepen. Very similar to Calcharo. This is not Yinlin's strongest team. That is the one with Calcharo, just to be clear. This is Yuanwu's strongest team when he's the main DPS. And for the last team in this video, we are going to be talking about Alto. So Alto in this team is a sub DPS. He's working with Jiyan in this one because he gives a 23% arrow damage bonus on his outro skill. So you really just want to get on Alto, get his arrow damage bonus or his outro skill up, and just go straight to Jiyan to buff Jiyan's damage. And that is honestly going to be all for this video, guys. If you guys like this video, like this video. If you found this helpful, feel free to share it, drop a comment, let me know what y'all think, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.